I thought it was a really, really well done documentary. I remember, you know, I'm of age where I remember, and I was actually coaching when those guys came through. I saw them play in high school, Jalen Rose and Chris Webber and all those guys, Jimmy King and Ray Jackson. That was a phenomenal group of athletes. It's very unusual that 5 freshmen could walk into a major program and go 2 years in a row to the national championship game, 2 years in a row. I mean, that's phenomenal. And they were street guys, a lot of them. You know, Jalen Rose's comment on the documentary was, you know, back then if you had a tattoo, you were a thug. If you had an earring, you were what was the term he used? A gang member or something is what he said in the documentary. Of course, you know, now that's pretty prevalent. Today in 2011, it's not a big deal anymore. But I don't know if you heard, but today Grant Hill came out in the New York Times criticizing Jalen Rose for some of those comments of saying that, you know, Duke would never recruit guys like that. They only recruit, as he called it, Uncle Toms. I'm not sure what that means, but Grant Hill was pretty critical of that, the stereotyping, really on both sides. So it was interesting. I mean, it really makes you think, and it's reflective of our society a little bit. And athletics, in many respects, is reflective of society in a lot of cases. But if you didn't get a chance to watch it, it's a very, very interesting piece about, you know, a group of young guys who came together from different parts of the country, different backgrounds, some backgrounds a little bit rough around the edges, and how they came together to play for championships, and you know, some of the negative things too that happened along the way. So, yep, Tom. That's a great question. Tom asked, "What is the future of sporting events for Birmingham?" Let me share something with you. I was on an airplane. I was on a Southwest airplane about a year or so ago, flipping through the Southwest magazine. There was a feature article in there on Indianapolis, Indiana. Okay, Indianapolis, Indiana is a town of about what, David? 300,000 people, 350 in that range. It's in the middle of the heartland of America, okay? And 30 years ago, Indianapolis, Indiana, as a community, as a region, made a strategic decision that for the economic development of their community, they were going to become the amateur sports capital of the world. That was their goal and their focus, and they set out to do just that, okay? Over the next 30 years, they have hosted no less than 5 Final Fours. They've hosted every major sports championship that you can possibly imagine in Indianapolis, Indiana. Swimming, track and field, volleyball, basketball, you name it. They've built 2 dome stadiums in the last 20 years in Indianapolis, Indiana. 2. Okay? Now, I say all that to say this. Why can't Birmingham, Alabama, one, build a dome stadium? Because we have the worst civic facilities of any town of our size in the United States. The worst. Legion Field, for any major big event, is just not up to speed, and it's historic, and I don't think we should ever tear it down. We should make it a historic venue, but the Civic Center was built in 1977. We need help, and if we could build a dome stadium right across the street from where David Knight's office is, and an entertainment district down there, this place would explode, in my opinion, and we would be able to attract world-class sporting events to Birmingham, Alabama, which is not going to do anything but help the economic development of our community and our region. The BBVA Compass Bowl is a bowl game I'm involved in that is owned by ESPN. That's a great event here. The SWAC Championship, is that still in Birmingham? SWAC Championship is here. We've lost the SWAC MEAC Challenge football game to Orlando. We've lost the Super Six. We still have the high school boys and girls basketball tournament here. Gene Hallman does a great job of bringing major events here. I know tomorrow is the SEC gymnastics. Is that tomorrow? Saturday, gymnastics championship. You want to see some world-class athletes? Go to the BJCC Saturday and watch those young ladies, gymnasts perform. Unbelievable. We have the SEC baseball tournament out at Regions Park. So we have a lot of great events, but we should be able to attract even more. If we had a dome stadium, we could attract a women's Final Four. You agree with that, David? We could attract a women's Final Four. We probably never would attract a men's Final Four. We don't have enough hotels. But we could attract a women's Final Four, a lot of basketball Final Fours. We could have a kickoff football game like Atlanta does, that Alabama's been playing in. We could host that. Alabama last year played football in Durham, North Carolina. They played at Duke. You know what that place seats in Durham? About 40,000. You don't think we in Birmingham, if we had a 60,000 seat dome stadium, we could have bought that game from them. We could have doubled their fee and had the game right here. David Knight would have handled the tickets. We'd have sold it out. He'd have given me the 12 best ones that I wanted, and off we go. Does that answer your question? We've only scratched the surface to what we can do sports-wise to bring events to the city that's going to help the economic impact of our community, in my opinion. And we need a new facility, desperately. And we're going to have one. I mean, Legion Field is going to just crumble one day. We're going to have to build something. So sooner or later, I know Mayor Bell wants to build it. It's just a matter of, lining up all the stars and Venus and Jupiter and all those things. So.
I think we might have time for one more question.
Last question. Yes, sir. Hey, VJ, what's happening, man? All right. Yeah, I think Anthony Grant is a first-class individual. I was coaching at the University of Central Florida when he got his first college job at Stetson, and so I've known him since 1992, and I really have great respect for him. He grew up in kind of a tough area of Miami, Florida. He's really made something out of himself. He was a great athlete at Dayton, and he's everything you would want representing your institution and coaching your young athletes. So I think he's very bright. I think he's an excellent coach. And, the key in the SEC is recruiting. You've got to get the best players to come. And it looks like he's doing that. If he can continue to recruit well, I think he's going to keep Alabama at the top. I really do.
You think Alabama can hang on to him?
That's a great question, Richard. You're very observant, Richard. Yeah, I think they can. Anytime you're at a place like Alabama or Auburn or places where football is so dominant, the one fear that you have to have with a successful basketball coach is that he might entertain an opportunity to go to a school where basketball is a little bit more important. That's why we need to make basketball more important. Are you following? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Joe Dean. We appreciate you keeping us informed and all the great things going on in our city, and also with the bracket and all the basketball. I'd like to give you a certificate which recognizes that a donation has been made in your honor to our program, Ready to Read, which puts a library in every second grade classroom in the city of Birmingham, and also a copy of our 2010 annual report.
Thank you.
One quick announcement. We are in the process of updating our member roster online. Please go on to the website, log in, and go into your member profile and follow the instructions to update it. Once you update online, it will flow over to our roster. Keeping accurate records is extremely important, so please do take time to do that this week. Also, final just reminders, we have the gala this weekend, bowling next Tuesday, and then painting murals at Gateway next Saturday. I hope that you can come to all the events. And with that, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Nice job.
Great job. Thanks.
All right, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. My pleasure.
I was going to ask you about Mike Hamilton as a Tennessee fan about those comments.
I'm glad you didn't.
Why would you say something like that? Is that not just unbelievable? Yeah, like the media today is just, that's all that they're going to talk about.
Go to Foxhole for a little.
Yeah, he's been standing behind Bruce Pearl the entire time, and he was asked point blank, and he's kind of changed his mind a little bit.
He was on a radio show yesterday, and he said, well, he didn't know Bruce Pearl was out.
Yeah,
Now
just
the national story, the day before their trip.
right. It's unbelievable.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome, Caroline. Hey, good luck to you guys. That's great. Y'all are a handsome couple. She carries the weight in that regard. All right. Tell your folks I will.